in 1846 they built the road from Stanley to Aberdeen, Little Hong Kong at that time, and it was built for basically for people on foot and people with horses and with carriages. So it's quite narrow, and then there's several bridges in the road that were built, and this was one of them. And there is a second one here near Stanley, and then there is still a third one you can find at Deepwater Bay, close to the golf course there. So those are the bridges, and then we can see today a couple of drainage channels that were built at that time, 1846. Stanley Road, and it's still here. Stanley Road is still here. There is no other Stanley Road. This is Stanley Road. And the great thing about this section here is that it's not just hidden in the forest. People can use it. People can use it to walk in around Stanley. It can connect to the staircase on that side, close to Turnham Cock Road, and also you can go to Carmel Road on the other side, next to Mahang Prison. So you can walk. So people that live here can use it as, go evening outing, go walk it. But also people who come down from the mountains, from the Twins, they can use this route to go to Stanley and have a lunch, where previously people have to go and take the bus, and maybe then they go home and they don't go to Stanley, because there was no connection. If you come down from the Twins, there was no connection to walk anywhere. But now we can use this old Stanley Road as a connection. So I think it's very useful. It's not just heritage, it's a useful route. So actually what we need to grade is the entire road, not just the individual bridges. We need to the entire route. And that is the heritage value. It's not just a single item, it's a route and it's an alignment and it's the old road. And to recognize that as a heritage feature is great. And then we have use value, people can use it. So, and then there is the heritage structure value. This is a typical old style masonry bridge. So, I mean, there's different values from a heritage perspective. But the fact that it's all one group, one alignment, one route, makes it very powerful as a heritage structure. We can recognize the name on the map as Stanley Road, and then they say, oh, we don't have a Stanley Road. And I say, yes, you have. There were two roads built to Stanley at around the same time. So 1846, Shao-Kee Wan Road, and 1847, Stanley Road. So Shao-Kee Wan Road came all the way from Shao-Kee Wan past Tai Dam all the way here. And the other one is from here, from Stanley all the way to Little Hong Kong. They were built around the same time. And you can find the bridges, some bridges of the old Shao-Kee Wan Road, and you can find some drainage channels of it. But they're a little bit more harder to find because it's not easy, the access is not so easy. And they're not as pretty as this one. This one is in a beautiful condition. The other one here in Stanley also, both are in Stanley are in beautiful condition, much better condition than the remains of the Shao-Kee Wan Road. But anyway, Shao-Kee Wan Road is another one that we should protect all the features of it. For Stanley Road, put the name back on the map. And then the second thing is to do some improvement work so it's safe for people to go and visit and use this as a footpath, when they go hiking around the area and so on. That's a safe footpath. That's all. We don't need to, and to of course give it an official heritage status as a monument, so that there's some money available for maintenance. But otherwise, don't touch it too much because it doesn't need to be touched too much, as long as people can enjoy it. Shao-Kee Wan Road, we need to think a little bit harder about how to make the bridges, what to do after we give them status. And how to make sure they get protected. We have to think a little bit harder because they're a little bit more difficult to make use of as a part of the regular walks. So that needs some thinking. The Pokfulam conduit is very different. The Pokfulam conduit has always been a footpath, always used as a footpath, and continues to be used as a footpath already. It's just that people didn't know that below it were these aqueducts that are in 1877 built aqueducts, that of which 16 of the 32 are still existing. So people just don't know. So I think we did some matter of cleaning them up, putting some signage, putting some information that people come by, they can actually know what is below, when it was built, why it was built, and tell a little bit of the story of the history of Hong Kong. Maybe it's very interesting for people to learn that some of the first roads, long roads built in Hong Kong, were actually all the way to Stanley. So there is a story to be told how Stanley was one of the furthest settlements in the early times, where they basically developed only Hong Kong Island. And then on the Hong Kong Island, they built these two roads all the way from Stanley to Aberdeen and from Stanley to Sha Kee Wan. And they were built very early on. And that's an interesting history, that Stanley is an old village that has lived and has a function very early on. So I think in that sense, it's great to tell a bit more about why the roads were built, how they were built, who was using them. I think that's interesting. There was a garrison placed here. There was military defense here, so there was probably a need for the military to go up and down to the headquarters in close to Tamar or wherever it was, the old Pacific Place area where the old headquarters were, and back to here. There were probably many reasons why that road was needed and was used. It has fallen into disuse, it was overgrown, and there were just some people passing by from Carmel Road to the Twins, and they passed by, but they didn't know that they were walking on Stanley Road. They had no idea. So now people know it. Anyway, you see how people enjoy to come and visit this. Because this one actually is very pretty, and the way it sits in the forest here is a real, and how the light plays with the leaves and the bridge. I mean, it's a beautiful sight. So people love to come here and have a look at it. So it's nice. It's fun. Nice. Some of these things happen in Hong Kong.